Yes.
Yeah, you can request to have that piece of bread removed.
I've never known. I was today years old when I found out that you can have the middle piece of the bread of the Big Mac removed by request.
Joe, it's a service industry. Why would you think you couldn't ask for it to be removed?
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't. And
White Castle did the same thing with their double cheeseburgers. They put that extra piece of bread in between the.
Before we even started, listen to Jim is here. Oh my God, I don't know how the rest of the playoffs can live up to this round. NFL is hands down the best product out. This was probably, arguably, because I can't really think that far back. I'm a little older than Juwan. I'm definitely not older than Mike. But yeah, I don't know. But from my most recent memory, this is probably one of the best weekends I've ever watched, where every single game was a nail biter. Every single game. Well, one was almost a blowout, but they came back. So even that game was competitive. But yeah, so it's Monday morning quarterback as promised.
And it's my fault that happened because I texted you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what it was. Monday morning quarterback. I want to thank my panelists for coming on. Good morning. How you doing, Mike? How you doing, Juwan?
I'm very excited to talk football.
You guys ready?
Best weekend of football I saw in a long time.
And I know we're going to get a lot of comments. We are. And I do want to I want to address one thing before we go on, but really quick, let's read Brandon's comments. Scariest team after the divisional round, the Bengals, not necessarily focusing just on this season, but the future. Getting to the AFC title game as early is proof Bengals are way ahead of schedule. And my pick for this week, Bengals going to Super Bowl. I don't know.
Hell fucking no.
Look, I'm going for the let me preface. I'm going for the Bengals.
Let's make one comparison. Juwan, you're going to agree with me on this.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is not Ryan Tannehill.
We know that.
Joe Burrow got sacked 9 fucking times Saturday.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes would eat him for fucking lunch and dinner and maybe a light snack after midnight.
Well, you also, I think you can also agree that if you have a better quarterback on the Titans, Bengals probably don't make it out of that.
That's what I'm saying. Patrick Mahomes isn't Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Look,
no, I'm going with you.
As much as I like Joe Burrow,
yeah,
there is no way. Now I'm going to jinx it. There's no way in hell the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl.
Brandon, I will just say this. In the last 12 years, very rarely are new, young, and up-and-coming teams in the Super Bowl. You have your rarities with Jimmy G and the 49ers, right?
Chiefs.
They might go back. No, Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is a whole nother level. I mean, Joe Burrow, I wouldn't put – Patrick Mahomes is already up there with Brady. Right? So you already go, well, he's on his way of being up there with Brady, Peyton, Joe, all those greats. Joe is only in his second year. He has to actually get to the Super Bowl and win one before I can elevate him to that status. I'm just saying, I've seen plenty of new teams like the Bengals come and go. Let's not put all this pressure on Joe. Let's let him go out, have a great game, see if he can win it, and then we'll move forward. All I'm saying is, you can't say that so definitively because it's like, all right, well, if the Bengals get better, are we to believe the Chargers won't?
No, they will.
Are we to believe that the Colts aren't a better quarterback away from them being where they need to be? There's so many AFC teams that you look at and you go, well, if the Bengals get better, I have to assume the Chargers will get better.
But if the Bengals, all right, if the Bengals, okay, but let's put it this way: if the Bengals and the Chargers both get better at the same time. Right? Mm-hmm. The Bengals have already a step above the Chargers. So even at this level, the Bengals are still better than the Chargers.
No. And to me, you can't equate it that way. To me, the only way you're better than me is if you go on and win the Super Bowl. Because, all right, you make the playoffs this year, you get to the AFC Championship, you lose. Next year, I get to the AFC Championship, I lose. What are we like equal ground now?
No, but this is Joe Burrow's first full. This is Joe Burrow's first full season. He's in the AFC Championship game.
100%.
He's already accomplished more than Justin Herbert has.
For sure, 100%. I give you that. A lot more things worked against Justin Herbert than it did Joe Burrow.
I think I remember Joe Burrow only played a half a season last year.
That's why I said a first full season this year. Right. Yeah. And also, too, and we'll talk about definitively. You can't really say definitively Patrick Mahomes is on the same level as Brady, is what you're saying?
1,000%. I don't understand
How.
How is he not?
The kid's got one ring. I think we need to slow it down a little bit. It's one ring.
I don't equate greatness by rings. I don't think Tom Brady is a better quarterback than Dan Marino. Is he a better winner? For sure. Has he had better teams? For sure.
You don't think Tom Brady's a better quarterback than Dan Marino?
You think Tom has a better arm than Dan Marino? What?
Look, I've been arguing with you for the longest time that Joe Montana is the GOAT, and he only won 4.
Okay.
But like I said, different.
No, he did win 4.
He won 4. But remember what I said, though. Different league than what Joe Montana is in, where a fucking Mack truck can run him over and no penalties being thrown. But a pinky can touch Tom Brady, and it's a 15-yard penalty.
Well, apparently not yesterday.
Probably like a bitch. The referee finally had enough.
Except for yesterday, you know, they call a personal foul if you blow on a quarterback's helmet. The guy got kicked in the fucking head, not Mahomes kicked in the head. He got hit in the head.
Mahomes got kneed in the head yesterday and he didn't get a penalty.
All I'm saying is Mahomes at this young age is a billion times greater than Brady was at this age. So can I believe Patrick, by the time he's 35, will accomplish close to, if not somehow come very close to what Brady has done? 1,000%. He's just a better quarterback than Tom Brady is. He is. We can't just equate by rings. So much goes into those rings.
It's all right, fine. Don't equate it by rings, but let the kid play a few more years to say that. You do not know what's going to happen.
He threw 50 touchdowns.
Okay.
How many people can you say has done that?
Brady.
He did that in like his 10th season.
So what? He still did it. All right, let's see if Patrick Mahomes is going to play when he's almost 50 years old.
And
you just don't have that.
Patrick Mahomes.
We got to wait and see.
And the only reason why Patrick Mahomes lost the Super Bowl last year is because he had no offensive line.
All I'm saying is
he ran more yards running around the field than he did passing last.
I go through all of Brady's Super Bowl wins, and I go, Bill held the greatest show on turf to 13 points, or 10 points rather. Immaculate. That's very easy to beat when you just got to get 13, right? The Eagles, same thing. The Panthers, same thing. The Rams again, same thing.
All right. I just want to say this though, and I want to say this, and I was gonna save it for the Bills and Chiefs game. But who do you think was the better quarterback, Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes in last night's game?
Patrick Mahomes.
No. See, that's where you're wrong, and this is where.
It's
so
not a right or wrong.
It is a right or wrong only because Patrick Mahomes, and one of the things is why, and this is why I say this, Brady never had the weapons earlier in his career that Patrick Mahomes has. Patrick Mahomes literally can throw a 1-yard pass to Tyreek Hill, who can then turn it into a 99-yard touchdown.
Are we going to ignore Troy Brown, who was a Pro Bowler? Are we going to ignore Deion Branch, who was a Super Bowl MVP? We're going to ignore that? They were just talking about how Julian Edelman should be in the Hall of Fame. Gronkowski is going to the Hall of Fame.
Gronkowski wasn't early in his career.
He had Wes Welker. Gronkowski,
I don't know.
Was amazing. Since
having a guy with blazing speed like Tyreek Hill is almost like having a cheat code.
So Randy Moss wasn't a cheat code. I could just throw the ball up and he catches it,
and that's why he had so many touchdowns that year.
And I'm sorry, if that's the credit we're giving to Tyreek Hill, what credit do we give to the fact that Brady would throw 5-yard passes to Wes Welker that Welker would break for 15, 20 to 25?
I'm not saying that. I said Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. That's what I just said. Who was the better quarterback in last night's game?
And you're saying I was wrong for saying Patrick Mahomes, but then you went into Brady.
Yeah, no. You went into Brady. You just said Brady didn't have enough. No, my brother went into Brady by saying he didn't have enough weapons earlier in his career. So but I just said, and the reason why I say that is, like I said, just a short little dump passes makes a quarterback's stats look a lot glorious than they are. Mahomes had some incredible throws, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he was clear-cut better quarterback.
I just watched one quarterback have a walk-off on what was one of the most beautiful throws of the night. That's all I'm saying.
One of the most, the most beautiful throw was probably one of the 2 touchdown passes that he threw to Gabriel Davis, which was zipped in. The in-air stats are just incomparable to Mahomes' little dump offs. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say.
Travis Kelce touchdown wasn't a dump off.
No, the Kelce touchdown wasn't, and also I want to get into that too in a little bit as well, the overtime stuff. But yeah, so listen, I think the Bengals are a threat. I just don't see, and somebody said this the best. I think it was Rex Ryan. You had the number 1 defense on the field last night, and you could not stop Patrick Mahomes. The only thing you could do is have somebody comparable, and I even told my brother yesterday in the very beginning of the game, this is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a shootout. No defense is going to be able to stop each other's offense. It's just going to be a shootout. It's going to be about who makes the mistake first, which no quarterback did. And although Allen fumbled, but he recovered his own fumble. No quarterback made a mistake, right? So they both played clean ball, and no defense was able to stop them pretty much. They were pretty much able to run down the field at will. So,
but it's always nice to have clean balls, though.
Yeah, it's always nice to have clean balls. So given that, and the way that the Bengals allowed Burrow to get sacked 9 times, I feel like I was about to say that. I feel like Ed Rooney.
I had a Bueller moment.
I feel like Ed Rooney 9 times. And he's still, you know what it reminded me of a little bit, dude? Mike, you'll get this reference. Eli against San Francisco. How he just kept getting fucking knocked out.
You know what the funny thing is? Dan Olinsky made that comparison on Get Up this morning.
I didn't watch Get Up. I watched Good Morning.
He made the Burrow comparison to what Eli did, and that Eli just kept getting knocked down and knocked down. He kept getting up, and
remember the turf in his helmet and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Burrow, and the other thing too. Let me ask you this, guys, really quick, and I guess we'll go into the Bengals and Titans game, first. Let me put that up. Why, when you had that beautiful drive, right? They were down 16-6. You had that beautiful drive by Foreman. Foreman ended with 66 yards. I think he got like 40 of them, or 40 plus, definitely on that one run, taking them down to 1st and goal. Why did they abandon that and throw the ball? Why wouldn't they just continue to do that, especially on 1st and goal? Why wouldn't you just at least run it one more time? They get down to 1st and goal, and what happens? We all know what happens. Tannehill throws the ball, and it gets intercepted. What did you guys feel about that drive?
It's a bad call. It was a bad call by the coordinator to make that move.
I mean, on top of which, the very first play of the game was a fucking interception.
I mean, Derrick Henry is back. Why didn't you just use him more than what you should have?
They did. I feel like they tried utilizing him. He ended up with over 60 yards, and he obviously had that touchdown when they were down in the goal line earlier in the game. But, well, not early in the game. Wait, hold on. Yes, he scored the touchdown. Then they missed the 2-point conversion. So to make it 6 points to tie the game up, but he really wasn't a big factor. Like, they stopped him on a couple of crucial plays. They stopped him on that huge 4th and 1, which I don't know why they went for it. They could have went for the field goal. I guess I don't know. I don't know what they think it was, but Tannehill just showed, like, the one good drive that Tannehill had obviously was that touchdown pass to Brown. I mean, that was a beautiful throw, but an even more incredible catch. A.J. Brown ended up catching that one-handed, backpedaling in the end zone. I mean, that was just a beautiful catch. So Tannehill did show signs of, some signs. Like, he had a couple of deep passes to Julio Jones that got wide open, and another couple of passes to Brown, and obviously the touchdown pass that I just said. But why did they abandon the run with Foreman is what I don't understand. Foreman had 4 rushes, 4 for 60. I think, what was it? Hold on. 66? 4 rushes for 66 yards. Why wouldn't he get more rushes? Why didn't he get more touches? Jawan?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we see it all the time. I guess Verbal felt comfortable with Tannehill winning the game with his arm. Tannehill just couldn't get it done. I mean, I told you guys, Mike, I believe you asked it, why doesn't Ryan Tannehill get the respect? I told you.
And this is why.
It's because he never does it in the playoffs.
That was bad.
You got to go win it. You can't be the number 1 seed and then just The guy got sacked 9 times. Your defense did its job.
Yeah.
You can't go out there and not win that game. You just can't. You got everybody. You got Julio. You got Brown. You got Henry back. You can't. So,
now, is that a flaw? Are those flaws in their offensive line, or are the defensive line in the Titans that good?
Say it again.
Is that a credit to the defense of the Titans, or is that offensive line questionable for the Bengals?
Well, if he's sacked 9 times, I think the offensive line is questionable.
I just think 2 things can be true. Because you could have an amazing offensive line, but those guys over there, they're just – because, again, you're backpedaling as an offensive line. So all the momentum is on the defensive line. And it's very rare you hear of these transcendent offensive linemen. So I think 2 things can be true. I think the offensive line maybe wasn't solid or could have been good, but the Titans were just better that day.
Yeah. And we also said this too, and that was one of the things that Brandon had just said.
Why is he underrated?
Yeah, I don't know how. I think he's perfectly rated. People don't underrate him. I think he's really good
at all.
Yeah, Mike, he's perfectly rated. Because he's not overrated, and I wouldn't say he's underrated because we were talking about him almost all season, AJ Brown.
I think the only way I could categorize AJ Brown being underrated is the fact that New England could have drafted him at like 20 a few years ago. So that just means he dropped that far down. A guy who's clearly a number 1 receiver fell that far down. I think.
Now, did you see this? Did you feel like Henry didn't want to run through contact? You think he was afraid to get hurt again?
I mean, I have to say no with a Super Bowl on the line. I don't think that's the time to be scared. You just don't play.
Well, we said that
fearful. You just don't play.
We said this. I said this last week. We don't know if the rest and the rehabilitation and being off of his being out of the game was either going to help or hurt Derrick Henry. We didn't know which one was going to come back.
Though, he was out for over 2.
I know.
What was it? 2.5 months? 3 months?
Almost 3 months, I think. Yeah.
So you're 3 months off. You come back for 1 game. You're going to be a little rusty too. I mean,
yeah.
Game plan hurt the Titans. Yes, Bengals are playing with house money and they're not afraid to do anything, and it's true. The Bengals really weren't even. Did anybody have the Bengals going to the playoffs early in the year?
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
We're gonna have to go back and watch the preview show after this.
And for a rookie kicker, he's been solid. I don't want to jinx the kid. I mean, that's the I don't want to do that. But yeah,
he pulled a Steph Curry. He kicked it and turned around before he saw it go in.
Yeah.
I like that. That's big balls. I like
that. That's like when you throw the perfect strike and you watch it again, you turn around and you go, boom.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Titans had a balanced line. Henry had a plate in his foot and was shocking to see him tackle for a loss. Yeah, especially in that 4th and 1. And he also missed the 2-point. He didn't get in for the 2-point that they went for. Who won the weekend? The NFL. What a weekend! Awesome football. Who won the weekend? The Chiefs. It was the best. The Chiefs and Bills was the best game.
The Chiefs and Bills game will be probably the best playoff game in our lifetime
until the Chiefs and Bengals. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if
I'm not going by probably the best Super Bowl I ever seen, but last night was probably the best playoff game I ever watched.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he means the Bengals. 4 wins was the media prediction. It's whatever, and look where they are. That's crazy, and look where they are. So they are playing, and that's why I guess you're right in a sense, Brandon, that they are the scariest team. Only because they're playing with that chip on the shoulder that they weren't supposed to be there. But again, and let me reiterate why I said the whole thing earlier about the Bills being the number 1 defense and still not being able to stop them. In order for the Bengals to do what the Bills could not, is they're going to have to try to contain. I mean, look, they did beat Mahomes in a shootout. But again, this is a completely different Chiefs team than we've seen earlier in the season, throughout the season, obviously. And I said this after their huge win last time, Mike. Remember, I said this is scary now because what did Mahomes have 5 touchdowns?
I think so. But,
yeah.
But I told you is when they beat the Raiders the first time, I said, Patrick's back. Watch out.
Yeah.
Those were my exact words. I said, watch out. Patrick is pissed. And Patrick now is going to go where he needs to go now, and that's why I asked you, Jawan. I said, remember I messaged you last week. I said, did they go by postseason with the awards? And you said no.
Yeah,
No, regular season only.
And that's why I was like hinting a little bit, saying, okay, if Patrick can pull this off, he deserves to be MVP. But maybe MVP for the playoffs. But
hey,
now,
maybe if anything, the Bills weaken them a little bit.
Is this a Pokemon?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they come out in a lull, Mike. They've proven that week after week, especially like I said, later in the season than in the postseason. Now, they've proven that they're pretty much the Chiefs that we remember them for. Mahomes isn't turning the ball over. I mean, he had the one interception last week, but he's not turning the ball over. And he didn't look flustered. That defense didn't do its job. So. And I don't know anything about the Bengals defense. I don't know if they're, obviously not the number one defense in the NFL.
I would think got a decent defense if they were able to hold. If they did that to the Titans,
I think that was more so Ryan Tannehill. But,
yeah,
Awuzie is one of their best players. Their DB, and that AJ Brown touchdown that he gave up was just. I don't even know how to put words to it. I'm watching it, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no. Listen to Jim. I agree. I agree. After last night, you can't bet against Mahomes. Dude was unstoppable. The Chiefs were unstoppable.
You say that, listener Jim, but many people on Twitter said that about Brady yesterday. And
the future of the NFL is going to be AFC champion, probably wins Super Bowl. So many good young teams. AFC. The AFC is stacked. It is, and not just this year. Like you said, the future. You got Herbert, right? Hold on really quick. You got Justin Herbert. You got Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Now you got Joe Burrow, right?
You got Josh
Allen in the Bills. Mac Jones in the Patriots, right? In his future.
And Zach Wilson, we might,
Right.
Wilson
Zach
might
Wilson.
wake up, maybe the Jets might wake up and do something. The AFC is stacked, but let me ask you guys one question.
Okay.
Is Josh Allen becoming Patrick Mahomes' shadow?
No.
Just like Brady and Peyton or Brady and Drew were.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like echelon. Like it was Brady, then Drew and Peyton. Is it becoming the same way with Patrick, then Josh Allen? Because now this is the second time Josh Allen took on Patrick Mahomes in a game to go to the last year was for the AFC Championship. But now this is twice.
Last year was for the Super Bowl.
Mahomes beat Josh Allen.
Last year was for the Super Bowl.
I don't think it's a shadow thing. I think if you're the Bills, you have to be sure with your roster going forward, because I look at Josh Allen and that boy screams Dan Marino. He screams he will be the best quarterback in the NFL on any given night.
Without a Super Bowl ring.
That's exactly it. I'm not saying that the Bills will not win a Super Bowl. I'm saying if they don't get their shit together, because this loss came down to play calling. Simple as that. Came down to play calling. Overtime didn't matter. In regulation, it came down to play calling. And you did not execute it. Again, not pointing fingers, just stating the facts. Josh Allen.
Wait, Mike ain't making no sense on that comment to me.
Manning is under no shadow of Brady. I just don't know if it's the wording, Mike. I don't think it's a shadow. I just think
it's not a shadow.
I mean, Mike, I'm not saying that as a shadow of that. What I'm saying is that Brady won 7 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. How many did Peyton win?
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
How many did Drew win? 1. That's the way it's going to come with Patrick and Josh. It's going to be Patrick is going to be winning, in my opinion, winning more Super Bowl rings than Josh Allen.
Yeah, but
I'm going by the level of greatness.
I see what you're saying. I never break down sports because it's never that simple. So you look at Brady and his rings, right? And then you look at Peyton. I always go, the biggest fault of Peyton is he just never could get it done when it mattered, right? Whether it was against Brady or whatever. He just never could get it done.
Especially in the playoffs.
But I never felt as though under center there was ever a day Brady was more gifted than Peyton Manning. I think he's just a better winner. He knows how to execute when it matters. But just a play caller, Peyton Manning is all-time great. Brady just has all the other things that Peyton didn't have, right? And Bill Belichick also didn't fucking hurt. That's what I'm saying, Mike. It is a team effort. So it's not as simple as, again, Bill held the greatest show on turf to 10 fucking points, 10 or 13. I can't remember. But that's a testament. Brady only had to get 3. That's it. Didn't have to get 4 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns, 3 fucking points. That's a team effort right there.
I wonder what who the fuck is Gabriel Davis? I
give Gabriel Davis credit. They held Stephon Diggs to 7 points. The guy that all the media was making fuss over, he stood on the field last year. He waited. He was waiting 364. He had 7 fucking yards. Shout out to Gabriel Davis. That's the reason they were in that game. That's the reason they were winning that game. So shout out to that kid. Because you came out of the shadows and was just like, fuck it, I'll take this game over. Shout out to him.
NFL record, 4 touchdowns.
I'm saying it was impressive. I just never heard of him. I know that when you hear like Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley and Knox on that team, and all of a sudden Gabriel Davis.
A listener, Jim, says that he thinks that San Fran is the scariest team left. Going into Green Bay, punching Aaron Rodgers in the face, and taking it. We'll get to that obviously when we talk about that.
The defense punched him in the face. It wasn't Jimmy G that punched him in the face.
I was about to say, as long as Jimmy G is their quarterback, I don't know if I could ever use the word scariest.
What's this? You know what? No, I did. I think I did hear this. I don't know if it's true or not, but just like as a stopgap, as his backup to Daniel Jones, I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, backup. Oh, he's a backup to Josh Allen right now.
Duh, Josh Allen is transcendent.
But Josh Allen doesn't get hurt in week 4 of the fucking season.
I'm just saying.
Until next year. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. You just jinxed it.
I think I could make a better case. Mitchell Trubisky.
And Daniel Jones is not going to be our quarterback next year. Trust me.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mitchell Trubisky could give you a better chance.
Right. We'll get to the games in a second. I really did want to start with these questions really quick. Was that Rodgers' last game as a Packer?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I think so. But the problem is, so here's the issue. Here's your problem. Well, I mean, the Green Bay's problem is money, right? The cap. Everybody's talking about it. How if they let him go or if they trade him, they'll be under the cap because they have to pay him for another year. But I just feel like after this, how do you go 13-3 for 3 years in a row? And you're not even in the NFC Championship, let alone going to the Super Bowl and winning it.
Well, last year they were in the NFC Championship.
No, this year they didn't even make it. That's my point. They went backwards, and they still finished 13-3.
That San Francisco defense just when they scored that first touchdown on the first drive, I was like, okay, this is.
It looked like the Packers were just going to run all over them. Honestly, I was like, okay.
When I saw the snow coming down after the halftime, I was like, oh shit, now this thing's out of control.
I believe the 49ers defense played great, but I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to. You got 10 points, 10 fucking points,
10 points,
10 points.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's unbelievable. It really is. And look, he looked off. He tried forcing passes that weren't there. People said he had Lazard open. He wasn't making the throws that he's used to, that they're used to seeing him make.
He was forcing Devontae Adams.
I know. It was like it was Devontae or nothing. And it's just the way they moved the ball in that first drive and scored that quick touchdown. I really thought, okay, well, this is going to be the blowout. This is the blowout that we thought we were going to get. And just Green Bay just kept hanging in there. They had the missed.
Yeah, he just kept throwing to Devontae.
The blocked field goal.
Like he wouldn't use. I think he got Lazard once. Carbonneau dropped the pass.
What?
Cobb dropped the pass. I know that.
Yeah.
He only hit Lazard once.
Yeah. But it was just like I said, bad passes to Devontae, which he couldn't get.
He just kept throwing to Devontae because I think he was getting desperate.
I tell you this is why I think he's done in Green Bay. If you're Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams has already said through Instagram he wants to go wherever Aaron goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect fucking team for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams to go to. That this what happened to yesterday should never be a problem again going forward. Go to the Broncos. who have a very promising defense, right?
Yeah.
That defense will go out and spend money, whether it's on the J.C. Jackson, Jair Alexander. Here's the thing people are not thinking about. If Devontae Adams follows him to Denver, who are you doubling, Devontae or Jerry Jeudy?
I mean, it doesn't really matter because Jerry Jeudy was pretty much
probably
last year. Most of the games I watched him in.
I think he's amazing. They're probably gonna end up doubling Adams, but then that just
it leaves Jerry Jeudy open.
You have Jeudy open, exactly. So Brandon says LaFleur and Zach Taylor were both hired at the same time.
Can we get Devontae Adams? I mean, I like to see Devontae Adams in a giant uniform.
Can't afford him.
Mitchell Trubisky throw to him? The fuck, hell no.
They don't have enough money, Mike. Both have 2 playoff wins at this point.
I got a solution to that problem. You want to make the money? You trade Shepard, you trade Slayton, and you trade fucking Saquon. There's your fucking money.
No, they said what the monies are tied into. It's mostly so Galladay is one of them. Shepard is definitely another one of them. The other ones are all defense. Blake Martinez, Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, these are all guys that are tied into a lot of money. They said those 7 guys are there's 7 guys total that was on that list that's tying the cap up. Listen, Jim wants him to go to the Colts.
And also, Mike, I get it. You're a Giants fan, but you're not a Devontae Adams away from a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you would put all your money into Adams.
No, but we're Deshaun Watson away from a Super Bowl.
No. See how you're flipping it? Because before when I said go after Deshaun, you were like, no, we don't even know what the legal situation is.
No, it's the truth, though. But if he's going to settle out of court, that's fine. If the league ain't going to go after him, if you get Brian Flores and he wants to go there, then
I didn't know Green Bay. Did you know that? I didn't know Green Bay passed on Higgins. I didn't know that was even an option. Yeah. But he had a good game.
That's not the problem.
He had a good game last week. I mean, yesterday. I'm sorry, Saturday. And you got Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mike.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
what I'm saying. Go to Denver.
Well, they said even before the season started, people were speculating that he might go to Denver before this season started, last offseason.
I heard he might. I heard that he might go to San Francisco next year.
Well, that was
because he lives in the area.
I don't know about going to the Bucs, but that was my next question as well. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to end up going to the. Well, what about the Steelers? Is the Steelers even an option for Rodgers?
I mean, maybe. I mean, if you get Devontae and Claypool together, that would be a nice combination.
Well, that's my point. Well, I don't know about Devontae. I really don't know. Is that really a package thing that he's going to go wherever?
Jawad just looked like he ate some bad yogurt or something with that face.
That's horrible. No, don't go to Pittsburgh. No.
Why? You have a solid defense. Now build up your offense.
Claypool is not Jerry Jeudy.
No, he's not. But if the Adams package is a thing, why not have a Devontae Adams, a Claypool? You have Najari Harris on the ground. You get a couple other pieces. You don't have Big Ben anymore. I don't know.
Also, don't forget about Juju.
Oh, and Juju.
Wait, is Juju a free agent this year?
Yes, he is. He signed a 1-year contract last year.
Plus, he can hang out with Pat Mack in person if he goes to Indianapolis.
I know you're pulling for Indy. No, you made your bed. Now lay in it.
Carson Wentz is the quarterback in AFC.
Well, the road to the Super Bowl is definitely harder in the AFC. You have too many.
What?
The road to the Super Bowl is harder. You have a lot more quarterback competition in the AFC than you do in the NFC, I believe.
Yeah.
Especially if Brady retires.
But why I think it makes more sense to go to the AFC is if you're Rodgers, the defenses on the AFC, as you can see, are very sporadic.
Oh, God, no.
Your defense will either
no, Brandon, please. No, that's Dwayne fucking Haskins.
I heard Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
I heard Dwayne Haskins because they want to build and they're just going to, right now they're in a rebuild. So they're gonna go with Haskins.
Mr. Rudolph said he wants to step up too, and Stephen A. Smith said, "Shut up."
Yeah, Mason Rudolph can take a seat. Yeah. What about Brady? Does he retire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, he wanted to play to 50, which we know that's not going to happen. Then he said 45. He's going to be 45. Do you think he has one more year, or you think he's going to retire?
No way. No way that Arm.
I'm sorry, Javon.
No, go ahead.
I think Tom needs, it's like what they said last night. What him and what Alan and Chris were talking about. Not Alan Chris. Was it Alan Chris or was it Troy and Buck? Was it Troy and Buck? Yeah, because it was on CB. It was on Fox, right? No.
Troy and Buck.
Yeah.
Well, I know it was Troy. Honestly, I can't remember who the other one is, but that was
Joe Buck.
Yeah, it was Joe Buck. And I think they were talking about that, and like Troy even said, like, you know, it's going to be up to him. He has to talk to his family. He has to talk to Giselle.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, look, 20 what now? 22 years in the league.
Something like that. Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
was it 2000, 99?
99, 2000, something like that. And you you know, really, I mean, he's missed like his family. I mean, his kids growing up most of the time. I mean, it would be nice if if they had dad around, but it's up to him. I mean, after this, is he going to do it? I don't know. I mean, I think he should. I think the age was showing a little bit this year.
What?
I think the age was showing a little bit.
Where? He led every offensive category for quarterback.
Where he lost. Look, I'm telling you, he's going to get on. He's going to go on that field at 40. Javon, back the hell up. Your head's getting bigger by the second.
Where?
What?
I just want to know where his age
was
showed.
A bad defensive
I mean,
call
some of the games I watched,
overtime.
the age showed a little bit.
I don't know what games you were watching.
All right. So obviously I'm delusional.
I think that deep pass to Mike Evans proves otherwise.
I mean, look, I'll say this.
I'm not saying that.
Patrick Mahomes is what, 25, right? 24,
Yeah.
25? He almost hit the bet against the Giants. So bad games happen. So if that's what you're referring to, bad games happen. But a guy who put up the most yards, a guy that we were talking about could be the MVP, a guy we're talking about led their team from 27-3 and almost led them to overtime.
No, actually, it was 20-3.
27-3.
No, it was 27-3.
They were down 27-3.
At halftime, it was 20-3.
I know, but in the third quarter, it was 27-3.
27-3. Right.
But you know what though? But that was funny though too. If you listen to that,
right.
Wait, who said that? It was I forgot what we said though. It was shit. But somebody said at halftime. I don't know.
Mahomes is 26. Allen and Burrow are 25.
Who said it though? But it said what Tom should do is go in the locker room and say, "Hey guys, I want to tell you a bedtime story. Once upon a time, there was this team that was down 28-3 at the halftime in the Super Bowl, and they came back to win it." I was like, okay, that's a good motivational speech.
Funny that after this week, the quarterback with the most pressure on them is probably Lamar now. No way Ravens survive if Lamar can't step up in big games like Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, and Herbert.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Did we not just see the number one seed in the NFC get sent home in his first game?
Yeah.
Look, I'm telling you one thing. I said it last week. The Tennessee Titans were a bad number one seed. They were gifted that number one seed.
I don't know why my brother was praising the Titans too.
I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he was talking about Rodgers. I know what he meant.
You believe Aaron Rodgers will play again next year. So if he plays again next year, why would I put all the pressure on the kid who's 23, 24 years old and not the pressure on a Super Bowl champion who was the number one seed in the NFC and then completely shit the bed? The pressure's on him. To me, I'm not.
Rodgers wasn't the defending Super Bowl champion.
No, I said he was a Super Bowl champion.
Oh, okay, he was. Okay.
Yeah, not defending.
Really, the other big question though is let's say Brady does. I don't think Brady is going to retire, but the other factor that could factor into him choosing to retire is the simple fact that where is he going to be? I know he's got 1 year left on Tampa, but they showed, I was watching Good Morning Football this morning, and they showed the graphic of all the free agents on that Tampa team. Mm-hmm. That whole team is gone pretty much.
Yes.
You got Godwin. I'm trying to think of offensive players first. I know Godwin is one of them. Most of them are on defense.
I know Sue's contract is up.
Sue's contract is up. There's a whole bunch of them, and I really hate that I only just said two names, but it's literally a list of at least 12 people. Mm-hmm. Gronkowski's one of them. I know that's another offensive name. Mm-hmm. So who they re-signed? Arians may not even be back.
No, he said he'd be back.
Oh, he's coming back?
That's what he said right after the game. That
okay.
He'd be back. Now,
all right.
Again,
so
I think
what team would Brady play for? Would he switch teams?
Look, Tom, let's just make it simple, man. Retire if you don't want to retire. Mac has some learning he needs to do. You know, he can pick up a clipboard for a year. I don't mind.
I
Be a
thought about
guru.
that. I thought about that.
Be Mac Jones's guru.
Does
No. I'm drastically joking. That kills your youth doing that. Starting him for a year and then removing him for a year.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I'm just joking.
I'm saying make him like the quarterback coach or something. You know, I'm not saying make him.
One last question, because it's been all over social media. This has been all over social media. It's not something I thought of after the game. It's something that I thought of a while back. I think, Mike, we might have even talked about it several times as well, but it's been all over social media. So I figured, let me ask this question on here. I already started to allude to it a little earlier, but is this something, it doesn't have to be next season, but is this something that the NFL and the Players Association should discuss?
Where's the question?
Do we change overtime rules?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Jesus.
Whoever gets it first scores a touchdown, they win. If they kick a field goal, the other team has a second shot.
I understand that. I know, Mike, I know the rules, but the NFL, if you think about it, the NFL is the only sport that doesn't allow, if it's obviously only if a touchdown is scored, that doesn't allow the other team to even touch the ball.
To me,
only sport.
I swear to God, this conversation only comes up from a loser's mentality.
That's not true. All right. So when people said that about Patrick Mahomes, when he had to see Brady.
Yes. Because you don't know why? Patrick Mahomes doesn't play defense. So it's a team game, which means Brady drove the length of the field to win that game. Your defense has to do its job. If your defense can't do its job.
But your defense is only one element to a game. We all said it's a team sport. Your defense is only one personnel. Right? So why would you? So that's like, it's literally the equivalent in the NBA having a tip-off, right? A tip-off. And the person that got the tip-off, if they score, it wins, and the other team doesn't get the ball. If that's the equivalent.
If that's what the NBA did from the beginning of time, I would accept it.
Or in baseball, only the top of the inning counts. The bottom of the inning, the home team won't be able to get last licks.
To me, it's no different than going into a Super Bowl where your team just lost their starting quarterback, and then you lose because you didn't have your starting quarterback. So I now have to then punish the other team because you were missing something or you were lacking something. To me, the Super Bowl shouldn't be one game. If we're going to go into how rules should change.
No, an injury.
The only sport. I'm saying a Super Bowl. If you go to a Super Bowl and you're missing your star player, they don't allow you to come back for game 2, game 3, game 4.
No, I don't think. No,
it's a one-shot opportunity.
No, I'm all right with one. Yeah, I'm not into a playoff series for NFL.
Overtime is a one-shot opportunity.
NFL's the only.
But it's not fair to me. I drive the length of the field, score it. Now you're telling me the other team has a chance to score it. Then I got to go back and score again.
No, your defense. No,
right.
No, Jawan, you're right. Because basically what it is that, okay, the offense goes on the field. Your team's defense has to stop this offense for you to have another chance. For you to have that chance.
But neither team's defense
can't. If your defense can't stop them, then the game's over.
But neither team's defense did anything in regulation.
But here's the thing, Joe. If the Bills won the toss and went the length of the field and won the game, you know what I'd be saying for Patrick Mahomes? Too fucking bad.
I don't know.
Your defense didn't get the job done. And I'm sorry. Let's start here. Let's start with 13 fucking seconds driving it, getting the field goal to even get the motherfucker to overtime.
That's my point. That I was literally about to say that. So you're going to tell a kid who just did the impossible. First of all, they should have squib kicked. I don't know why they didn't squib. I don't even know why you even kick it and not run the clock out. Right.
That goes into it.
13 seconds.
And next Friday said that
ties the fucking game. Ties the game with just 13 seconds left.
Yeah.
You're going to tell that kid, sorry, kid, you couldn't get to touch the ball because somebody won a fucking coin toss and you can't get no, it's ridiculous. It's the only sport
because they're going to make the game longer because here's what's going to happen.
Who cares? It's a playoff game. You don't do that in the regular season. It should be done in the playoffs.
My problem isn't making it longer. My problem is
it's not sudden death.
You're wanting to reward.
It's not sudden death anymore. It's sudden death when a field goal, used to win it. That was fucking sudden death. It's no longer sudden death. So you're going to tell me in regulation, as time expires, a field goal is good enough to win a game, but a touchdown supersedes a field. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's
both offenses the ball.
No, but Joey, that's why the rule changed. Everybody got sick and tired of the fucking team going down there, kicking the field goal, and the game's over. Right. That's when they said, no more field goals. The team doesn't win with the field goal. If you want to win, you got to get the touchdown.
Just play here. Just play a quarter. Just play one quarter, 10-minute quarter.
To me, again, you're punishing the winner.
That's
not fair to the winner.
How are you punishing the winner?
Scored. And now you're telling me that I have to now depend on my defense, who is shitty all day.
Why not? You had to depend on the Bills' defense.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying I just went down and scored. Game's over. You're now saying, now let him go score.
No, but you just said, what'd you just say? That I have to depend on my defense that couldn't do anything throughout the whole course of the game, correct?
Right.
So then why is it fair that the Bills had to depend on their opening drive?
Listen to what I'm saying. If Josh Allen got the ball and went and scored, it's not right that now Patrick Mahomes gets a chance. You already won the game. That's it. I'm saying you're now giving a whole nother opportunity.
You won the game based on these current rules.
I did my job. So now I'm getting punished for doing my job properly. I went and won the game.
I mean, my brother's a Bills fan. He said, look, the Bills defense was the only one on the field, the number one defense, and they didn't do their job.
That's all. That's all it comes down to, Mike. All this other stuff is the equivalent of, hey, you played well today, so I'm going to give you a trophy too. No, you lost. I get the trophy. You go home.
So him and Listen to Jim both agree that maybe the coin toss is the problem. Maybe get rid of the coin toss.
What?
Wait.
The whole point of
get rid of the coin toss. Who gets the ball first?
First of all, so Mike thinks visitor, and Listen to Jim saying most time of possession and yards gets the ball.
What the?
I don't know about that.
What are y'all doing?
I don't know about
the visiting team gets the ball first.
Whatever you people are smoking, please give me some.
I don't know about that.
Get off of it. Get off.
And also too, let me
off the weed.
Let me also say this though. I do not think it should be a college style format where they each start in their red zone, in their opposing red zones, and see if they can, whoever can keep scoring. I don't think that should be the case either. All I'm saying is just play one extra quarter.
All I'm saying is I remember this very vividly.
That's what I'm saying, Brandon.
Coach telling me all the time, it's as simple as, in this world, to keep balance, there has to be winners and losers. You cannot extend it to make the losers feel better. You lost.
It's not about that, though.
It's as simple as that.
It's not as simple as that, because here's the thing. Yes, obviously there's always going to be a winner and a loser. There's no tie in the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you didn't have fairly both teams represented in the overtime format.
But then
because the Bills,
but if you're going to change it in the playoffs, you have to change it for the whole fucking
league
for the seasons.
Just playoffs. You don't have to change it for the regular
season. You can't do that, Joey. Then that's unfair for the season.
Why not?
It's unfair for the season. So you're telling me in a regular season game that if they don't score, it's a tie. But
yeah.
But in the
playoffs, it still could be a tie.
No, but in the playoffs, though, you can rewrite the rule.
Let me say why that concept doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but go ahead.
I'm tied for my division.
That's what I'm saying. I said that. It meant baseball, yeah.
I'm tied for my division, right? I need this game to go to the playoffs. They need this game to go to the playoffs. We go to overtime. They score first. Game's over. I don't make the playoffs. Then we get to the playoffs, and then that shit counts? Hell no. I could have been in the playoffs if that counts.
Then change it all around then.
No. Keep it the way it is.
Change it all around.
Defense better, and none of this is a problem.
I think it helps. I actually think it makes the NFL better. I do think this is going to be something that will be changed.
If this is changed, I have no interest in it. The whole competitive edge is garbage. You're now setting a precedent for younger children that, hey, we're going to extend the goalpost so we can make winners out of everybody. No, you lost. It's done. You go home. It's okay.
I
Don't
mean,
be back next year.
they've already made stupid rule changes. They've already made it so, you know what, they changed where the kickoff happens now. They've already tried to make the game a more of a scoring game.
Yes.
So,
and the Chiefs took advantage, went right down the field, won the game.
And but Joey, you said the rules changed. But I told you, how many times have I said?
It's true. The competitive edge is literally winning a coin toss.
The
Bills say heads. The Bills say heads.
It's 50-50. There is no advantage there. It's 50-50.
It's right. And a season should not end on a 50-50 probability. It shouldn't happen. It should not on a coin toss. I'm sorry.
So it shouldn't end on a coin toss, but it should end to where I score the touchdown, then you get to take the field.
That's how a football game, but that's how a football game is played.
Not overtime.
All right, so then instead of a coin toss, why don't we just bring out a jar full of jelly beans and say, hey, whoever comes closest to the amount of jelly beans in this jar gets the ball?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't care about who. Look, you want to talk about the coin toss, whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that who cares about the format?
You started about the coin toss.
No. Listener Jim and my brother said about the coin toss should be changed. I'm saying it's not about who gets the determination of who gets the ball first. My point is, Chiefs got the ball. They score a touchdown or a field goal. Fine. Kick off. Bills get it. They stop the Bills. They win. Because their offense and defense.
So then basically there should be no coin toss at all for any.
Why are you still hung up
game.
on the? Why are you still hung up on the coin toss? I didn't say that. I said
no because what your brother and Jim are saying is this. So there should be no coin toss, and the visiting team should get the ball. So then why do we have the coin toss in the fucking stadium where the home team loses the coin toss and the other team defers to make the home team get the ball first?
Jim, I can't disagree with that. The fact that they even allowed this tie game.
Listener Jim, 100. To me, it's do your job. You didn't do it. If Kansas City didn't get the ball first and the Bills did, and Josh Allen went all the way down the field and scored, guess what? That's on Reed, and that's
the Chiefs didn't do their job either. Chiefs didn't do on defense.
No, I'm sorry. The Chiefs are heading to the AFC Championship.
No, but I'm saying their defense didn't do anything. Their defense allowed Gabriel Davis to score 4 touchdowns.
Very fair. But you could say that's an anomaly because they did do their job because Stephon Diggs had 7 yards. But my point is, you go to overtime, you win. It's over.
Is that the Avengers theme?
That's for my emails. I don't know why it's my emails. My email thing. Anyway. To me, I just think when you start moving the goalpost and it's, well, then let's remove this and then let's remove that.
No, we're not making. So hold on a second.
Right? Let's just keep it.
The rule change wouldn't make it easier for a team to score. It would just, I believe, make it a more fair game of play if both offenses are allowed a chance. That's it. I think it's a fair conversation. It's
not about fair. We saw Denver last year have to use someone that's not a quarterback as a quarterback because of COVID. Life's just not fair. They could have postponed that game.
That's not about being fair. That's because you have a fucking retarded commissioner. That's why.
And then I screamed about that, Joe. I screamed about that fucking thing.
That's just the commissioner being stupid. It has nothing to do with being fair. The
commissioner's a fucking jerk.
I think that's the defense shitting the bed. Again, team sport. Defense didn't do its job.
You keep saying team sport, but there's 2 personnels to a team, and only one of them showed.
And guess what, Joe? Your defense forfeited that opportunity for you.
I don't know.
You can thank them. You can thank Poyer, who's talking all that shit. You can thank all your defensive teammates that shit the bed and let the little Mr. Dink and Dunk go down the field, win the game.
Yeah. And also, too, that should have been taunting on Tyreek Hill. I don't know why that wasn't taunting.
What?
They literally implement, the origination of that taunting rule actually started from Tyreek's little peace sign, which he's been flagged for before. He should have been flagged for that. I mean, it wouldn't have done anything, but he should have. Everybody was calling for a flag. He should have definitely been called.
Don't call that in the playoffs.
You don't call that in the playoffs, but you get Sue got called for a taunting when he got kicked. No, he wasn't taunting.
Doing a peace sign, I don't call that in the playoffs. Absolutely.
That's the definition of taunting.
I get you, and just like in basketball, there's true definitions of fouls, but there's a such thing as you don't call that foul in the playoffs. You just don't call that in the playoffs. Now, if he's standing over a guy, sure. A peace sign? No, I'm not throwing the flag.
It's called showboating. He did it five. What was it 8? I think 8 yards out.
I'm not doing that for the playoffs. Sorry.
I don't know.
Too important.
So then don't do it. But then here's the problem. Then don't do it in the regular season.
Yes, that's different. Way different.
Why?
This game was going so well. I'm going to stop that momentum for a peace sign?
Why? You do that in the regular season.
Regular season, sure. Nothing really truly matters week 1, week 4, week 6. In the playoffs,
the regular season, if I'm not mistaken, the regular season's from week 1 to week 18. So that could be anywhere from week 1 to week 18. So if it happens in the beginning of the season or the end of the season, simple fact is if you're going to call these stupid, and I'm saying they're stupid taunting and not personal foul, and these dumb calls, which I think most of them are dumb, then be consistent. That's all. But again, it wouldn't have done anything. It really wouldn't have. It's the rules.
What Jim just said.
It's the rules. Hold on. To be the man, you got to beat.
Wait a minute. Let me say it right, please.
Do it.
To be the man, woo! You gotta beat the man.
Well, Mike,
yes,
no, only in a good game. But remember, when we have said that previously, it had nothing to do. Remember, we talked about this with Jawan when we said how bad penalties or calls or no calls could ruin a team's drive that might have tied the game and ruined their momentum. But Jawan was okay with it then.
Did they throw a flag for it?
No, but they should have. We talked about no calls though.
When you throw the flag.
No, our argument was the no calls though. Also the no call.
And I said if it's a no call, you had 4 quarters to make that no call not matter.
It's still about ruining a momentum on a drive though.
And I get it. But if it's a no call, it's a no call. You got to go then do your job. The Bills didn't respond to that.
Joe Burrow is going to win the Royal Rumble on Saturday, win the AFC Championship Sunday. See you at the Super Bowl and WrestleMania. I mean, look, again, it's really hard, as listener Jim said, it's hard to bet against Mahomes at this point in the Chiefs at the high level that they are playing. Look, again, the Bengals did do it before, and it was a shootout. Remember, it was a shootout. That's how Joe Burrow beat the Chiefs. It was a shootout. I don't think any defense can stop them in the AFC. I'm going to get to that in a minute, though. I do want to ask that. We'll ask that.
To answer that one, go to my channel, watch my show, and I'm going to tell you who's going to win the Royal Rumble next Saturday.
All right, we covered the Bengals and Titans. Let's talk about this. 49ers and Packers. I mean, we started talking about it a little bit, but first of all, really quick, am I the only one that questioned this? That 75-yard pass down the line to Aaron Jones, right? When they were up 7-0. At least to me, if you rewatch the replay, why now Aaron Jones catches, right? He's not really anywhere near, he's near the sideline, but he's not going to really run out. I feel like if he would have won, he just ran straight. Maybe he doesn't get the touchdown, but I think maybe he gets a little closer.
No, but when he caught the ball, though, he was a little off balance.
He caught the ball, but then he started running towards the defender. Like he changed his trajectory.
When he caught the ball, he caught it with like a how can I explain it? Like his body was turned a little bit.
No, he was turned around when he caught it. I understand that.
And then he fucked up his footing, and that's what happened.
I just feel like he changed his trajectory. He was running down the sideline even after the catch, and he started running towards the 49ers safety. So I was just like, all right, that was a little weird. But yeah, we talked about this earlier. Green Bay did their job, but also more importantly, I think, I'm sorry, San Fran did their job defensively. Deebo Samuel, they got to use him more. On it because there were a couple plays.
I don't know about that. He was limping off at the end of that game.
He was, but I mean, also credit. It was fucking freezing. So any injury in that cold. Have you ever stubbed your toe when it's frozen?
Yeah,
like anything in that cold is going to get amplified. So I think he'll be fine. But my point was there were a few packages where they didn't include him in it, and they tried rushing the ball and they got like no yardage. And I'm like, why are they straying away from Deebo? I don't know. This 49ers team, and I really did want to give a shout out. He's not here. I really was hoping he was going to be to Teddy Boy. I'm sorry. Teddy Boy last week called it. Teddy Boy kept saying how, first of all, the Rams are 0-6 against this 49ers team, which is obviously going to come to play now. And Green Bay is now 0-4. Rodgers is now 0-4 against the 49ers.
Well, the same thing can be said for the Rams because the Rams have a horrible record against the 49ers too. They got
Just said 0-6.
They got swept.
0-6. Yeah, look, LaFleur, the offensive guru with 10 points. It was sad. And then I also told this to Mike because I was texting him back and forth when we were watching the game. I said I feel like that snowfall. I'm not going to give any excuses to
I told
Rodgers.
you too. I think the snowfall ruined it.
That snowfall came at the most opportune time because
Halftime.
That element, I think, added and took away from Green Bay's game plan. I thought with the cold and maybe even with some inclement weather, what did I say, Mike? I said, AJ, Dylan might be the factor in this game. If Dylan can get up and running, right? Nothing from him, nothing from Aaron Jones.
No, because Aaron went ape shit gunslinger crazy.
Yeah.
And
now, is that his play calling though, or is that LaFleur?
See, here's the thing. I don't know because Aaron's the one that's calling the plays on the field. If he's changing things up, that's on Aaron. I don't know if LaFleur's telling him what to do, but then when he goes with something different.
Oh, I didn't even realize that, Mike. Dylan got hurt?
Oh, yeah, he did get hurt. He's right. Dylan get it. I think it was a chest thing.
Okay.
I think he got hit in the ribs.
Well, look, that what do you call it? That field goal block to end the half, right? And then that punt, obviously, with the scoop and score. That block punt was obviously the biggest. That was the turning point of the game.
Aikman said at the top of the game, special teams is going to win this.
Yeah, because you look at the line. Jimmy G did nothing. I mean, he led them. Don't get me wrong. He stood in the pocket. He led them. He made some good choices, but if you look at the line, it was just a sloppy game. I mean, obviously,
131 yards.
A 13-10 victory. With the first of all, the fact that the Packers only got 10 points, I think is the biggest disappointment and the biggest shock. Everybody had the Packers going to
that game fucked up my whole parlay.
Yeah, I think it fucked up a lot of people's parlays, bro. Yeah, so we got that. And Robbie Gould, dude, the guy is money. They kept showing the graphic. I think they said he was 19 for 19, and they kept showing it. And I was telling my friend Frank, I'm like, Frank, I don't like that they keep showing it. Why do they keep showing it? But I think now he's 20 for 20. So there's that. All right. The next game. I mean, 27-3. Who didn't think this game was over? And I said this last week. I said the game that I thought was going to be, because you guys picked the Packers game to be the blowout. Juwan, you said you don't think it's going to happen, but if you had to pick one, you thought it was going to be there. So you did preface that. I said the Bucs and Rams. And the reason why I said it is because this Bucs defense scared me. Too many injuries, going against a really high-powered offense if Stafford is on the money. And I just saw this game possibly getting out of the way. And it did. Look, I'm going to say it did. I think it was more I know we're going to, obviously at the end of the day, we're going to credit Tom for driving the game, driving the team and bringing them back to tie the game. That throw to Mike Evans was on the money and just perfect. So I'm not going to take any credit away from Tom, but at the end of the day, the Rams are the reason why that game was close. The Rams beat themselves. The Rams, too many mistakes, that bad snap, the fumbles, the Cam Akers, what do you call it? Fumble at the one, right? I'm pretty sure it was Cam, right? It was Cam Akers that fumbled, right? So there were a lot of mistakes.
Don't forget the second Cam Akers fumble too.
Yeah. So there were a lot. Yeah, that's right. He fumbled twice. So there were a lot of mistakes that the Rams made to allow the Bucs to not only hang in there, but then obviously come back. So I think it was more.
And the only thing is, though, you can't blame Stafford for that one because they fumbled the ball 4 times. Stafford didn't fumble.
No, Stafford played clean. No. Stafford played clean.
Actually, no. Stafford did fumble.
He got a strip sack.
Covered it.
He got a strip sack, but he fell on it. No. I'm not saying that. And Stafford is the reason why they are now in the NFC Championship game. That throw to Cooper Kupp. The throw to Cooper Kupp to put them in that field goal range. For Gay to hit that and send him to the NFC Championship game. So he didn't turn the ball over. I thought that was going to happen. I thought that was going to be the deciding factor. I was waiting for him. It's like, okay, the Bucs are probably going to get a turnover here. They're probably going to get a turnover here. They let them come back. Yeah, and Von Miller did come up big. He had the strip sack. And what do you call it? Teddy Boy said that.
The timeout. What did I tell Teddy Boy? The only reason Von Miller can come up so big is that they're tripling this huge, massive-ass tank on the right side, so it frees up Von Miller every time. And Donald was still getting through.
It wasn't just Donald, though, too. I believe it was Floyd as well. Is that his name, Floyd? Is that the other? Okay.
Yes.
So Floyd was also getting penetration as well. I think it was more the defensive line is just really good. It really is.
I'm not going to argue that, but it's only that good. If it was just Von Miller and Floyd, they don't get that pressure. You get that pressure because you put your best lineman on Aaron Donald. You put your two best linemen on Aaron Donald. So that means if you got a weak link, Von and Floyd are going to find it.
Well, first of all,
their job is made easier because
one of the linemen for the Bucs had like one leg. He couldn't even stand on the other leg. That's how bad that right side was, and that was the side that was covering Donald.
Yes. That's why he was getting.
This game is going to be such a defensive game. I see a 14-10 with either team winning. Really? Look, the 49ers team doesn't have that like sex appeal to me. This 49ers team, like, again, they don't have that elusive quarterback, that elite quarterback in Garoppolo. He can get the job done, but he's another one of those guys where you don't know which one's going to show up, right? Whether he's going to get hurt or he's going to make that mental mistake that he usually does. Same thing can be said with Stafford, but I do give the edge to Stafford and the Rams only because they're better on both sides of the ball. And I'm not taking anything away from Debo. And the offense with Elijah Mitchell? Is that the running back for the 49ers?
Did you say Debo?
Debo.
You said Debo.
All right. It's Debo. With Debo Samuel and, of course, Elijah Mitchell, who also had a decent game for the 49ers in a run game. But it could be, I just feel like that Rams offense, the 49ers are tricky good. Yeah, they are. They're another team that's playing like with the house money, like they said about the Bengals. They weren't supposed to be there, although they were in the Super Bowl just a couple of years ago.
No, this comes down to the fact that Aaron Donald's going to get – I mean, look, it'll be Aaron Donald versus Trent Brown. It'll be a very, very, very interesting –
Don't forget Von Miller.
Yes.
You can't forget Von Miller. No, you can't.
Von Miller. The kid gets yes, okay, Von Miller.
He got a strip sack.
I get you. You're absolutely right. He did get a strip.
And also too, and what did I say though too? Although that was my worry because Philly sacked him 4 times, and you said it didn't really equate to anything, which is true. Brady was one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
And we knew coming into this game was going to be dangerous. So, Garoppolo, and I don't know how that offensive line is. I really don't know much about the 49ers, and that's on me. But I don't know how the offensive line is going to –
Trent Brown. I think it's Trent Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, the offensive lineman, I think it's Trent Williams.
I don't know about a blowout, Brandon, but I picked the Rams. We're going to go over our picks in a little bit, but I think the Rams have a little bit of an edge. And, of course, the nightcap. There's really, again, one of the best games I think I've ever seen in terms of, especially in the fucking divisional round. The last 2 minutes of regulation alone, there were 3 lead changes and a tie. 25 total points scored. Allen Mahomes combined for 3 passing touchdowns and 221 yards. And this is all in the last 2 minutes. They're both on fire. Obviously, we said Gabriel, NFL record, 4 receiving touchdowns. That's just unheard of. And Mahomes and the Chiefs needed just 13 seconds. That's it. That's all they needed. And it's incredible. It was incredible how open they got. It's just incredible. And like I said, it's a credit to the Chiefs offense. It's credit to Mahomes and his weapons. They really, and Kelsey. So Kelsey said, I think in a post game that it was because of that Bills timeout before that play to get open, to get into field goal range, where he saw the scheme that they were running. And he told Mahomes, if I get open like that again, I'm going for it. I'm going to split the guys and I'm going right into the middle of the field. And he did it.
Bro, the best thing that came out of this game was Andy Reid telling Patrick Mahomes, if
the Grim Reaper?
Be the Grim Reaper.
If it gets grim, be the Grim Reaper.
That now has to be Patrick Mahomes' nickname. That has to be his nickname from now on. That motherfucker, Grim Reaper.
Let him beat Mahomes. I mean, let him beat Burrow first.
Even if he loses the Burrow, he's still gonna be the Grim Reaper. Can be beat. He's still the Grim Reaper. Fuck that.
I think the definition of Grim Reaper is he's the one that beats you. You can't cheat death.
Final Destination did it.
No, they didn't.
They did.
It always catches up to you. Best playoff weekend ever, really. All 4 games were amazing. All 4 were. I mean, again, the Rams and Bucs almost wasn't, but they all last minute wins. Obviously, the what do you call it? The Chiefs and Bills game is the only one that ended on a touchdown, but they all came down to the wire. It was just so good. Leslie Frazier fucked us with stupid prevent defense, big and playing, and that was the other thing too. Why are you playing the Lions? They have all 3 timeouts. Why the fuck would you play the Lions and leave the whole middle of the field open? I agree with my brother. Yes. And why the fuck sending 4 people to get Mahomes? A lot of people were saying that too. As a game plan before the game even was played. I think that's what the Bills did when they beat them, was they didn't send because I think that's Mike, we might have touched up on this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the blueprint not to rush Mahomes because that's when he gets out of trouble and makes the deep
he's
throws?
out of trouble. He goes to the outside and he can run.
I thought that was already understood, that to beat Mahomes, not necessarily make him beat you with his throw, because obviously the kid's got a fucking cannon and he's got a really good QB.
But the same can be said for Josh Allen, because they did the same exact thing. They rushed up to him and Allen got to the outside and he was running all over the fucking place.
Very true. But they did. I would say the Chiefs defense, especially in the beginning of the game, made more stops than the Bills defense did. Chiefs defense came up, and there's also some bad play calling too. Like, how many times did Josh Allen get the ball on an RPO?
Too in that game too. When Honey Badger got kicked in the head, was the flag thrown?
No.
Okay, so that's one penalty right there. And I know for a fact when Mahomes ran and he
whoa, who's Honey Badger? Matthew?
Not you.
Matthew got kicked by his own player, dude.
No, I thought it was somebody in the Bills.
Matthew got kicked by his own player.
No, he got kicked when he was. Yes, he got kicked by his own player. What you're thinking, Mike, is the play happened when he was going after Josh Allen and couldn't get him. I think he got kicked by his own player or whatever.
Okay. That was my mistake. But then Mahomes got kneed in the head by a Buffalo Bill, and no flag was thrown.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter. They won.
I watched Mike Evans get slapped right in the fucking face and no flag.
Yeah. Well, no. Wait. Mike Evans got the flag.
No, they took it up. They picked it up.
Wait, are you talking about on the 4th down, the personal foul?
Against Weddle. No, that one play against Weddle. They picked up the flag. The Rams took it from right there.
No. They didn't pick up the flag. The rule states that. So you're talking about the Weddle hit, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a personal foul. But because it was on a 4th down and the ball hit the ground, it's automatically a turnover on down. So the penalty was enforced after the Rams get possession. The Rams get the ball by rule. That's an NFL rule. It's stupid.
That doesn't make sense, though. They got it right where the Buccaneers turned it over.
No, they got it 15 yards behind that.
But they were like 5 yards from the goal line.
Well, because it's a 15-yard penalty, that means it's only just half the distance from the goal. That's how penalties work when you're within the red zone, right? When you're within the 10 yards, because you can't do a minus 15, what are you going to do? Start them in their own end zone? You can't do that. So a 15-yard penalty then becomes half the distance to the goal. That's the only way you can move back a penalty when you're that far back. But I agree. The NFL rules don't make any sense. The other thing is too, it was a bang when the ball and hence overtime rules. It was a bang, and they were even saying that the timing of the ball hitting the ground to become a dead ball and Evans getting popped in the mouth or popped in the head, it could have went. But NFL rules state that if on a 4th down, if the line of gain is not met and they don't gain a 1st down and the ball hits the ground, the play is dead. The other team gets possession on turnover of downs, and then that penalty was tacked on to the offense. So that's what happened. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is true too, Brandon. It was ruled an incomplete pass before the hit. It was by a few seconds, but the ball clearly hits the ground. It was clearly incomplete. I'm all right with that. I was pissed because I was cheering. I didn't know the rule, so I was cheering when that hit happened. I was like, yes, because I thought it was going to be an automatic first down for the Bucs, but obviously that's not what happened. All right, let's go over go over something. Yeah, let's go over something really quick. I usually have it set up, and I fucking forgot. But yeah. Oh, you're big boy. You're a big boy, aren't you, Mike? What are you talking about?
You better be talking to Anakin.
I am. For those of you, I was just talking about talking to Anakin. I was just talking to Anakin. All right, share screen.
Hold on. About the game.
The set. All right, Mike. I'll get to your comment really quick. Let me get to this comment. The sad thing about this game is that Josh Allen's performance for this game will be forgotten. His 4th and 4, alluding to defenders, and then 4th and 14. Was it 4th and 14 or 4th and 13, Mike?
4th and 14. He drives 4th and 14.
I thought it was 4th and 13. And
does it really fucking matter 1 yard or not?
But to be fair, Mike, I get what you're saying. You're absolutely right. But it's just like whenever you talk about the Patriots-Seattle Super Bowl, no one remembers that crazy-ass fucking catch that receiver made against New England to get the Seahawks on the goal line, where he pops it up, kicks it, and then fucking brings it in. No one
Edelman?
That. No. Russell Wilson's pass. So I can't remember Lockett. I think it was to Lockett, where he's like falling down and then like bobbles it, kicks it, and then catches it on the ground. Remarkable catch. And then Marshawn ran it once or twice, and then obviously the interception to Malcolm Butler.
Remarkable.
It happens. It just happens like that.
You know what we can do? Take these guys out of there, huh? Green Bay is gone. Green Bay is gone. Wait, I think I signified home team as being on top, so obviously I'm going to change that.
And you'll take out Tampa fucking Bay.
Tampa Bay is gone.
I went for LA. Oh, because I remember now. I said
you went for LA.
Weren't in it. There's no fucking way I want Brady to win the Super. I remember now.
Yep,
and you went. Now bring your way down.
Mike, I know.
There you go. Take out Buffalo.
Titans are gone. Mike, I know. I know the Bills lost.
I gotta bust your balls, okay?
Okay. All right, guys. Now. All right, so the first game is the Bengals and Chiefs, right? Isn't that the early game on Sunday?
I have to imagine you want to put your money game as your later.
I have it written down.
What's the money game though? Which one would
you would assume Patrick Mahomes is the money game?
No, 49ers and Rams is the late game.
I think
it's just simply because it's a West Coast game. I think it's simply because it's a West Coast game. Yeah, so really quick.
Yeah, 49ers and Rams is the late game.
Hold on. AFC game is early. Cowboys fans still said sad Burrow has double the amount of playoffs wins than Dak. Okay. Who we got? Bengals or Chiefs? I'm assuming, especially because you guys picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Oh, no, you picked the Chargers. I'm sorry, but I know Mike did. I'm assuming you guys are both going for the Chiefs, correct?
Nope.
No?
What? After we just talked about you're going with Cincinnati?
Who the fuck is behind me right now?
Didn't I just explain like at the top of this fucking show a little over an hour ago?
Mm-hmm.
He is not playing Ryan Tannehill.
Okay.
This is Patrick Mahomes. You do realize that.
Okay.
I wish I lived close enough to him because I would bet a fucking dinner with him on this game.
You can actually send a dinner to his house via Grubhub.
How?
Just got to get his address. All right. So Mike, you're going to go Chiefs.
I gotta go Chiefs. I mean, they wouldn't. I picked them to win the fucking Super Bowl.
All right. Me and Juwan are gonna go Bengals.
I can't believe this.
Not necessarily. Look,
Iceberg Joe.
I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed right now.
Iceberg Joe.
Cool, Joe Cool. I know that was Montana. Wasn't that Montana's moniker, Mike?
We
Joe
don't
Cool?
know. We don't know who that motherfucker is no more. There's only one Joe in this motherfucking earth.
Joe Namath.
it's
No, wait, Joe.
Here's the thing, though. Joe Burrow's compared to Namath and Montana because they go by Joe Cool and then they go
Broadway
by
Joe.
the flashiness of Namath.
And Broadway Joe. No, he was Broadway Joe.
Yeah, he was Broadway Joe.
He was Broadway Joe. But guess what? No one gives a fuck about those old relics. We're
Exactly.
talking now.
That
Exactly.
dinosaur.
Iceberg Joe.
That dinosaur doing Medicare commercials on TV.
It's Iceberg Joe with the cigar.
All right. Late game. 49ers at Rams. James. Jawan, you're gonna roll the dice and go with the.
Who the fuck is James?
Go with the. I don't know.
James.
You want to go? You're gonna go with.
Are you thinking about Moody now? What are you doing?
You're gonna go with You're gonna roll the dice and go with Rams again?
No, because there would be nothing that would bring me more joy than Matthew Staffording things.
See, I want the opposite.
To me, he's always been a very good quarterback. That is all I could ever attribute to Matt Stafford.
Stafford, really quick. I wanted to write this down just for you. Oh, did we not cover? We covered the Bucs and Rams. Yeah, we did. Stafford, 43 game-winning drives. 43. Only 7 quarterbacks. Only 7 in the Super Bowl era have more, and 4 of those are in the Hall of Fame. One of them, Tom Brady, will be in the Hall of Fame.
Wait, can I just ask you just one question?
Yes.
Just one question. How many playoff wins do those 7 quarterbacks have?
You can say that about a lot of good quarterbacks.
No. Playoff wins. I didn't say anything about Super Bowl wins.
No. You can say that about a lot. In 21 playoff games, Rodgers has 11. Now I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But again, you see, you stray away from things only when it fits the narrative. You have admitted that it is a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on arguably the worst franchise in the NFL for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a team effort. The guy, and he still outperformed himself again, I understand for a few years he had Megatron, right? But then after that, he still continued to do whatever.
All I'm saying is, because again, not changing the narrative. All I'm saying is any other possible Hall of Fame quarterback that had the resume he had, regardless of their roster, we wouldn't give them a pass.
How many playoff wins would Mahomes have had in the if he had been in Detroit?
If he had Megatron?
No. Just say no. Just put him in the career slot. Let's
put him in the career spot with Megatron.
Yeah,
he has at least 5 playoff wins. At least 5 playoff wins in his tenure there. With Megatron,
it's Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Megatron.
Well, you have to go to the playoffs, though, Jawan. They don't make the playoffs. How can you? So here's the thing, though. It would be different. It would be different, right? If it was, I'm trying to think of what do you call it? I'm trying to think of of an example of a quarterback that actually makes the playoffs and then they get knocked out every year. The Lions never made the playoffs. The Lions never made the playoffs.
They have made the playoffs before.
What? No. Yeah, once, right?
Mm-hmm.
But take away that 1 year is what I'm saying is they never made the playoffs to get him that playoff win. How can you?
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying how could you ask? Well, how come he doesn't have any playoff wins? Well, I guess Andy Dalton would probably good. All right, so go to the playoffs and not make it, right? Because the Bengals would make the playoffs and then get eliminated the first round. Okay, so that's a good analogy. So you're going to say, well, Andy Dalton is not a Matthew Stafford though. Now if Mahomes was on those same Bengals teams, I would give you that the year that they made the playoffs, maybe they do get a win because Mahomes is a way better quarterback than Andy Dalton is. And what did they have back then? Ocho Cinco, AJ Green, probably, right? I really don't know who was on that roster for the Bengals I'm talking about.
Oh no, Ocho wasn't there by the time Dalton and Green were.
They weren't. All right. So that I don't know I don't know Bengals history. I'm just throwing out wide receivers that I knew were on the Bengals.
TJ Hoots-Manzada was great, but those are more Chad. Not Chad.
Wouldn't
Carson.
Brandon know more about Bengal history, considering?
Look, let me just super simplify this, because again, I'm not moving the goalposts. All I'm saying is saying that that he was on a bad team and they did not make the playoffs. That's a very easy thing to say. But since neither one of us have his career stats, I would need to go in and see how many of those losses that they suffered were at the hands of Matt Stafford. We would have to compare that. Was it just the defense was bad? Because if it was, I'll give you that.
If you're averaging for Stafford, I know he hit 5,000 in a few seasons, right? 4,000, mostly 3,000. If you're averaging like 3,500 to 4,000 yards a season, you can't put it on Stafford. Then it's got to be the defense.
Those don't equate. You had Megatron. That's very easy to get those yards with Megatron.
Again, I'm going post Megatron years as well. When I'm talking about the dog years of going 0-16.
They had really good receivers past Megatron. All I'm saying is, again, I'm not definitively saying it because I don't have any facts here. But there's a reason why no one had that much faith in Matthew Stafford. Because Matthew Stafford could 100% lose you a game as much as he could win it.
And that's another good thing too. Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is another one of those quarterbacks that couldn't get into the playoffs. He was just on bad teams.
That one year, they just couldn't beat New England. You had the best team Phillip Rivers has ever had, and you couldn't get the job.
But would you say that Phillip Rivers is a bad quarterback?
I didn't say Matthew is a bad quarterback. I said he's a really good quarterback. That was it. That was all I could say for him.
All right. I don't know about that. No, Brandon, they're still playing in LA. They already said they're not moving. There were talks about them moving locations, but
yeah, I don't think it'd be smart to move out of LA. The whole reason you have Dr. Dre is because you're in LA.
Yeah, and that halftime show, I think we can all agree is going to be lit.
I without seeing it, I'm putting it up there with Prince, Michael Jackson, and then Shakira and J-Lo.
Not Janet and Justin?
That titty was awesome.
Wait, what? Why are they thinking about moving the Super Bowl?
No, there were talks about it moving locations only because of COVID, the rise of COVID, and bringing it to where was the alternate? Was it not Vegas? What was the alternate?
I don't know.
Phoenix?
Was it Phoenix? Brandon, what was the alternate they were talking about? Or I mean, anybody in the comments?
Come on, let's go, Brandon. Come on.
Good one, Mike.
Thank you.
Stafford deserves a Super Bowl for being with the Lions for so long. I agree. He needs a consolation.
You know, but the analyst made that great point, though, and he said that though, when he was happy for Matthew Stafford because it's the Detroit Lions that he was.
But here's my problem. How long was Matthew Stafford a Lion?
His whole career.
Oh, okay. So let's say, 10, 15 years?
No, definitely not 15, but probably 10. I would say it's got to be at least 10.
Let's say 10. Your rookie deal is only 4 years.
Probably 13, maybe 13.
Right? Your rookie deal is only like 3 to 4 years. That means he re-upped in Detroit.
Well, that's when he had Megatron. That's when he had Megatron, though.
That's a Matthew, and he never asked for a trade. That's a Matthew Stafford problem.
Well, no, that's just a quarterback that wanted to, I guess, see through. That's right. It was going to be Dallas.
And
that's
right. Stayed there. So
Dallas.
Again, you made your bed.
Thank you, Brandon. Brandon did answer us. It's Dallas. All right. So you guys are both going with the 49ers then? Mike, are you going 49ers?
I don't know. I mean, I want to see Stafford go to the Super Bowl. I do.
Well, now that the Bills are eliminated for me, right? And so are the Bucs, because remember I picked both Bills and Bucs to go to the Super Bowl, and the Bucs to win. Now that the Bucs and Bills are both gone, I'm going to go with the Rams to go all the way.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay.
Because even with the defense, I mean, Garoppolo isn't. I'm not going to say isn't a better quarterback, but Stafford would probably do a better job than him.
But I will agree, and I'll go as far as saying, you know what? I'll just change this. That I think Stafford is going to be your deciding factor on both sides. Whether he's going to be Stafford that I hope doesn't show up, that Juwan is banking on, or we get to get Stafford or some of the Stafford that we got in yesterday's win against the Bucs, especially in that game, that final drive.
I'll say this in support to you, Joe. If he gets there, very good chance he does. You better win that shit. Because again, Jared Goff took the Rams to a Super Bowl. Getting there is not the prize.
No, winning.
You better go win that shit.
They clearly look the picks that they gave up. Getting Odell, obviously that was a free agency move, so move whatever, and also to kudos to Odell. Look, again, he didn't work out in the Giants. That's fine. He had his
with Cleveland either.
Well, I don't know if that was an Odell thing though. I think that might have been a Cleveland thing.
But here's the comparison I'm going to make to this with Odell.
Okay.
And yes, give Odell credit. But here's the thing, and I said this before: Odell was the number one in New York. Odell was number one in Cleveland. Odell is number 2 or 3 in LA.
I think Odell was number 2. I think Landry was their number 1. No?
3? No. Hell no.
Cup?
Jarvis Landry is never.
Cup is number 1. Cup is their number 1.
Cup,
their number 1.
And Jefferson and then Odell.
I don't know if I put Jefferson over Odell.
Who was the guy that went down?
Tyler Higbee. How about that?
Juwan, who was the guy that went down again? Who was the one that went down in injury?
That was shit. Man, I cried when he got injured in practice.
Because I mean that's what really propelled them to get Odell.
Robert Woods.
Right. Woods would have been. I agree with Mike. He is probably their number 3. Yeah.
He's their number 3 if Woods is there. I'm not putting Higbee.
But the reason why they got Odell was because of Woods.
Right, yeah, because of Woods. But Mike, I don't know if I put Odell behind Jefferson though. I think I'm going Kupp, Odell, then Jefferson. It's just that Jefferson. So they're obviously gonna. It's about defensive schemes. It's about who's covering whatever.
I think that's what it was though. The pressure is not on Odell anymore to be that number 1 guy when it comes to being a wide receiver. You got Cooper Kupp there. That's it. Like
I agree.
Kupp is the face of the. I mean, well, the face of the team basically with Stafford. But Odell basically fits in better in this type of situation where he's not being the focal point.
He's also on the winning side.
I don't like that because that's everybody. How many times have we seen Brady throw a pick and then go watch the film and then slam the tablet on the ground? Or berate an offensive coordinator, or yell at a play. It's passion. It's passion. It's just Odell sometimes often lets the passion onto the field.
Kicking in that and then kissing it and proposing marriage to it, and Tom Brady slamming a tablet are 2 different fucking things.
I don't understand.
I told you that boy had there was something.
Yeah,
either he got some meds or he went to go see a psychiatrist.
When did Odell complain about the team?
Wrong with Odell in New York.
He complained about the Giants. He wanted to get off.
No. I'm talking publicly. When did he ever publicly complain about any of the teams he was on?
I thought it was well known. I thought that's why the Giants got rid of him.
I've never heard Odell publicly come out and go, I don't want to be on the. If he said that behind the scenes, that's not a problem. That happens all the fucking time. He didn't come out in the media and go, I don't want to be here. To me, saying it behind the scenes, so what? He didn't want to be there. So move him.
I thought he made it known in the media that he didn't want to be here.
I'm out. I'm saying I've never seen him come out in the media and say, I don't want to be here.
That's funny, Brandon. I've seen that skit with Tiger Woods, and that was hysterical. The black delegation selects Cooper Kupp with their first pick. What was I going to say? I'm in agreement. I'm in a little of agreement with Mike, though. I think there's definitely a difference between passion and just not being able to control your emotions, and letting it get the best of you. Like I said,
I mean, passion, walking around like you're a dog taking a piss on the
Eagles
end zone.
That's a weird touch.
That ain't passion. That's fucking mental stability.
How is that any different than Marshawn jumping in the air and grabbing his balls?
I love that though.
So
look, we're talking about touchdown celebrations or whatever, but the fact of the matter is it didn't work out. At the end of the day, it didn't work out for the Giants. Obviously, didn't work out for Cleveland. He found a new home, and and he likes his role. I'm assuming he likes his role, and I think he might play a big factor in the playoffs moving forward.
And basically, when he was in New York too, remember this show, he blamed everybody but himself. Oh, it's Coughlin. They got rid of Coughlin. Oh, it's Eli. They got rid of Eli. Oh, it's Daniel Jones. You know what? Fuck you. Get out of town.
I don't remember him
then he blamed Baker. But then he blamed Baker for everything. He can't blame nobody in LA because one, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, him. It's a good receiving core. And Odell wanted to go to LA to begin with because he wanted to do movies and TV after his career is over. Perfect fit.
I just don't remember him saying any of this publicly.
Is that true? Marshawn is hosting Thursday Night Football next season? Oh, wait, didn't they say, hold on, they wanted to do something like that. They were saying it too. There was another combo that I don't know if it was for Sunday night. I think it was for Sunday night telecast. And they're like, I don't understand why you would have that. They don't like Manning and Manning feed off each other because they're siblings and whatever, right? But I can't remember who it was that they're like, oh, we think they should do a what do you call it? A broadcast, a simultaneous broadcast for Sunday night, I think it is.
What about Brady and Breeze doing what after Tom retires?
I don't know.
That would be interesting because they get along good. They're friends.
Right. So my next question now is, I mean, me and Jawan both picked the Bengals, but I think we can be a little bit more realistic.
I think they're both insane, but go ahead.
I think the Chiefs are probably going to go to the Super Bowl. But my question to you guys are, if that is the case, which team in the NFC has a better shot? That 49ers defense or an offense that might be able to keep up with the Chiefs? And we've already seen that the Bills defense couldn't.
Oh, wait, for the Chiefs. Oh, I thought you were talking about for the Bengals.
No.
For the Chiefs?
I mean, both defenses are good, though, if you think about it.
So you think the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl?
1,000%. 1,000%. If you're Jalen Ramsey, the whole purpose of Jalen Ramsey being there is that you're a physical corner, right? You're a big physical corner. That's great when you're going up against Jamar Chase. That's great when you're going up against Devontae Adams. You got to have speed to do anything with Tyreek Hill. Where are you putting Jalen Ramsey? You putting him on Kels? So to me, I don't really know where that.
You're putting Jalen Ramsey on Tyreek.
So what did the Bucs defense do?
No, you don't.
So what did the Bucs defense do to neutralize those guys?
To neutralize what guys?
Guys like you said, like Hill that had the speed.
Oh no! What they did was, first of all, they schemed it. They would box them in, but mostly we got to remember the main reason why none of those receivers were useful in that Super Bowl was that the Bucs were just getting to Mahomes.
Yeah, they didn't.
Throws were off. The throws were inaccurate.
Offensive line was hurt.
So that led more to the downfall of the Chiefs in that Super Bowl, more so than them necessarily stopping their offensive weapons.
Mike says the Rams defense has the better shot. Oh,
here's the thing, though. They both have good defenses.
They do.
So I mean, either team that gets in, whether it be the Rams or the Niners, their defense.
Yes. No. I understand.
To try to stop
Patrick, but the Rams have it on both sides. I'm not really confident with that 49ers offense. Again, no shot.
49ers offense either. Even with Debo in there.
No shot. And this isn't a knock to Garoppolo. It's not. I actually like Garoppolo. I do. And it's not a knock to Debo. It's not a knock to Mitchell or anybody else on their offense. But the fact remains, they came very close. A bad play call, if you will, by Dak and maybe McCarthy. I don't know who drew that play to losing to the Dallas Cowboys. And they came very close to losing the special teams is what really propelled them to win that game as well. So I don't know. And Mike, 49ers are a team that can come from behind. And I'm not saying that if the Rams fall behind that they can easily score as well, because you don't know, again, if Stafford's going to be in his own head and make mental mistakes, or if he's going to be on point, which I'm hoping he will.
And the question is, too, come Sunday, is Honey Badger going to be able to play with that concussion? He has to pass protocol, too.
Thank you, Cowboys suck.
And I agree. No, I that's exactly what I was just saying. We don't know. We could get him out of Westbrook. Dude, I watched a highlight, a YouTube video of all the turnovers that Westbrook has on the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with him?
Man plays at 100 miles per hour.
Holy shit. Anyway, so Stafford could easily give the game away.
And I think he had 74 yards total in the second half yesterday against the Bucs.
Yeah, no, the Bucs finally not only stepped up, but they, that defense, it can go either way. But I think the Rams have a better shot of not only beating the 49ers, but I think possibly, if the Chiefs do advance to the Super Bowl, have at least a competitive edge, because I don't want the game to be a blowout. I don't want it to be a 49ers Chiefs fucking rematch, because I think it's so uneven. I really do. No, again, not a knock to the 49ers. It's not a team that, again, has like that sex appeal that they don't look attractive to me. Maybe they are the 2007 Giants. I don't know.
I'm just saying the 49ers were a bad throw away from beating the Chiefs in that Super Bowl.
You're right. That was to what? Sanders?
Yep.
Bad. And who made that bad throw?
No. But I'm saying you would have thought the way that the Chiefs played all year, they would have easily came in there and just wiped the floor with the foot. They didn't. It was a very close game that he overthrew. If he had thrown it precisely, we could be, not saying it was definitive, we could be having a different conversation right now.
No, and I agree with you. And look, last year at the beginning of the year, when the 49ers went down with all those injuries, right? And then they started 4 different quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had like 4 quarterbacks start at one point. So a lot of this shit that happened last year was all because of injuries, right? They are still built the same that they were when they went to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. The problem is they still have Garoppolo, and I don't know if Garoppolo is the guy that's going to get them over the edge. I don't.
What I'm saying is if that defense can show up,
you think if Trey Lance can?
No. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying Trey Lance can easily take the reins and move them. No. I'm not saying that, but I just don't know. Given what we've seen from Garoppolo, we've seen some goodness, but we didn't. There's nothing that stands out from this team on the offensive side of the ball besides Samuel.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I've seen worse quarterbacks win a Super Bowl. You just got to get your defense to show up. You scheme it right. You can win it. Trent Dilfer won a fucking Super Bowl.
I know. It's funny that you said that, dude. That was the first quarterback I thought of was Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks of Trent Dilfer. I love it.
It's the easiest one to go to.
Look, at least he didn't say Eli Manning. At least he didn't say Eli Manning. Yeah, Matt Hasselbeck. Yeah.
Well, no, Eli Manning, I can't shit on him. Albeit I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. He had 2 Hall of Fame Super Bowl runs. So I can't – there's nothing about those 2 runs I could say negative. So I can't use him the same way I would use Trent Dilfer.
I would hope not.
I wouldn't disrespect Eli like that.
No, I would hope not.
But,
okay.
I mean, regular season.
And that is true. That 2000 Ravens was probably the best defense of all time.
No. But my point, Mike, is all the 49ers have to do is play good defense.
Yeah, which they did. They clearly did against one of the best offenses in the league.
Right. If you're in a situation to where you have to get in a shootout, you will lose every time against Patrick Mahomes. But if you're in a manageable situation and Jimmy just has to make a throw, that's a game that if you're Shanahan, you won. I
will say this, though. I want to say this.
I can't call Nick Foles out because he was phenomenal in that Super. Again, Trent Dilfer was almost non-existent in that Super Bowl. Nick Foles was electric in that Super Bowl. So I can't even down Nick Foles like that. Career-wise, sure. That Super Bowl, can't do it to him.
I will say this. even though I didn't pick the 49ers to beat the Packers, I don't think anybody in their right mind did. Well, some people did, obviously, but most people predicted Packers to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going with the Rams again this week. But I will say this, the 49ers right now, to many, are, well, Juwan, you're going with them, are very underrated. They are. They're playing under the radar. They are playing scary. Similar to what the Rams, the Bengals are doing, but the Bengals have Joe Burrow, and they have a little bit more of a high octane offense with Jamar Chase, Boyd, Higgins, mixing on the ground. They have a little bit more weapons on the offensive side of the ball that gives me a little bit more confidence in that team. The 49ers defense might be the better defense on the field, excluding the Rams. Take away the Rams just for a minute. I think the 49ers, their schemes, it's not necessarily overall their defense. I think the Rams have better pass rushers in Von Miller and Donald and even Floyd. But I think the schemes that the 49ers throw at you, they clearly showed you that in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And they did it again against the Packers. I think that might be the difference maker. And I think the 49ers might be the scariest team going into this playoffs, going into this round, and maybe possibly the Super Bowl now. But I'm just going to go with the Rams because I like my boy Stafford, and I really do want to see him win something, even get to a Super Bowl. I know for the Rams, it's Super Bowl or bust, like a Super Bowl win or bust. But for Stafford personally, to be able to get to the big game after years of suffering in Detroit, I do wish him. I wish him on that. Obviously, I wish he wins, but 49ers secondary suspect though. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the secondary. I'm talking about their
D-line itself.
Their D-line to get pressure, and then and fluster the quarterbacks that they need to. Whether it's going to be Stafford or maybe even Mahomes down the road. All right, guys. I want to thank not only my panelists, but let's really quick, just want to make sure I don't leave anybody out. Obviously, Brandon, Listener Jim, Mike, Nick, Cowboy Suck came in for a little bit.
No crayon dude.
No crayon dude again. And I know you referenced him. I know you told him that I had a bone to pick with him.
And I found out where he's from too.
Where is he? Oh, Hawaii. Yes.
St. Louis blood.
I know. I watched that. I watched your show. I said, listen to Jim. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for commenting. This was a really good week. One of the best weekends of football, if not the best weekends of football we've had in a very long time, if not all time. Hopefully next week we'll have evenly matched and similar games. What do you think? Do you see any blowouts?
Maybe Kansas City.
Kansas City blown out Cincinnati.
Okay. Awesome. All right. I can see it. Again, the way Mahomes and the Chiefs are running the ball, and when I mean running the ball, I mean with the way they're driving the ball and the way that they just look like
like I said, if
they can't be stopped.
Burrow gets sacked 9 times, I'm not saying he's going to get sacked 9 times this weekend, but if he does, the guy on Kansas City isn't right there to help.
Chris Jones is probably licking his lips right now. Like if they can get at him 9 times, I'm sure he's going to try to. Whoever else is going to be rushing them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I can't wait.
I think Spags will write up a good game plan for them.
I mean, that's what he's known for. All right, guys. We'll see everybody next week as we cover the AFC Championship games being held on Sunday. So we'll see you next Monday for another round of Monday Morning Quarterback. I want to thank Mike and Juwan for joining me as always. And guys, in the link to the description on this YouTube video, you will find their YouTube links. So go and follow them if you're not. I'm pretty sure it's redundant for the most people in this chat because I know you guys are. But for those of you watching now or maybe later, go ahead and, give them a look, give them a follow. Guys, anything you want to plug on your channels really quick before we go? Mike?
I finished up episode 40 coming down the aisle. Me and James talked about Cody Rose's contract situation. What else was there?
What about your horse racing?
John Moxley's return from alcohol rehab. And speaking of the Royal Rumble, me predicting the worst case scenario and my worst nightmare that the Colossus Omos will win the WWE Championship, which will make me not watch WWE ever again.
Okay.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
All right. Jawan, I know you just did you did a stream. I didn't get a chance to watch, but I saw the thumbnail about the Microsoft buyout, right?
Yeah, I did GVN talk. We talked Batman's runtime and a whole bunch of other stuff, including Microsoft's recent acquisition. But me and Joel have much ado about nothing coming up tonight, and then an interview with Katie Morgan sometime this week. So
Katie Morgan, the porn star?
I'm just joking. But
Oh.
look how excited you got.
Well, is it bad that I knew who Katie Morgan is?
No, not at all. I would be offended if you didn't.
Wait, Katie
Wait,
Morgan,
is
the
it
blow
Katie
doll I
Morgan, a little
have?
short blonde porn star.
I don't know if
like,
she's
is she
I don't
short.
think she's short.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's short, dude. I
Well,
mean, again,
I was gonna say me and Joe is the resident short guys.
Yeah.
I don't think she's short. No.
I don't know her height, but if I had to guess, I would probably say about 5'8", 5'9",
Oh yeah, easily.
right? But
Yeah.
watch her be like
All right,
5'10".
I gotta look this up now.
While you look that up, I do want to
Research
ask
purpose.
Jawan really quick. Are you going to be talking about the Batman clip that came out?
Yeah, I think I might get with Joel and do a breakdown of it.
All right. So guys, if you're into that, if you're into wrestling, obviously go check out one of their channels or both. For the guys here, please, if you can, like the stream. Obviously, it helps out the channel, and no brainer. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Like I said, we'll see everybody next week on Monday Morning Quarterback as we go over AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, and also be on the lookout on my channel for future shows. Book of Boba Fett episode 5 coming out this week, and episode 5 of Peacemaker. That should be coming out on Thursday, so I'll be doing the streams on that later on in the week. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Monday, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see everybody really soon. Taunting.